Yeah. I get anxiety sometimes, as even with our show building and stuff like that, when I'm walking in the street knowing that people know my face. And like,
see, people know your face. They know my voice.
But come on,
you're a recognizable dude.
You're a recognizable face.
Maybe,
man.
probably. Yeah.
You know what I mean? People know that's
right.
Ricochet. That's the man from the radio station.
Right.
So like, how do you deal with that?
I get anxiety too, man. Even to this day, and we were talking about this off air. I get anxiety. I have a bottle of CBD in my side bag at all times. Like I get anxiety, and I can tell when somebody's looking at me, staring at me, and they're trying to figure out a way to approach the situation. But listen, I'm always down to give somebody 5 minutes of a conversation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm always like, I'm humble as fuck. Like I'm not gonna walk around here with my chest out, like, yo, you can't talk to me. Or, you know what I mean? So I'm always willing to talk to somebody and throw some advice or listen to what somebody has to say. Yeah. But at the same time, like, if somebody's gonna, make me listen to a record and it's not it, I'm just gonna be like, yo, this is not it, my guy. This is trash. Like, you know what I mean? And some guys can't take that criticism, right? Yeah. You think about it, somebody's been crafting a record for a month, and then somebody tells you like, yo, this is not it. Yeah. How do you react? Then that's the thing. How you react is gonna be your next test. Like, you're gonna be pissed off, or you're gonna be like, all right, what do I got to do to make it better? You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of times the shit is good. It's just a mix and masters. Mm-hmm. You're not even mixing and mastering the record. And that could be the difference of a record being the shit or a record being like, ain't nobody want to hear it. Because sonically, if it sounds like shit, you're not trying to hear it, right?
Yeah, gets annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got a couple more questions for you. All right, because like I feel like
we can sit here and just chop it up all fucking day. This is fun.
Man, every time you mention something, it brings me to something else, and then I'm like, the question that I had on the page, I'm like, oh, I want to get to that one. Right. But then you mentioned something and I'm like, holy, I got to go over here with this guy.
I started talking, I forgot what you even asked to begin with in the first place.
No, man, because like you're just a wealth of knowledge, and like this is something that's really important for the people who are going to be watching this, because I feel like we got a pretty young audience, right? And they take jewels from what we're doing over here, right?
So that's also our responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a way, we're the gatekeepers now. You know what I mean? Coming up, I think the gatekeepers didn't understand what we were doing or didn't understand our culture. Mm-hmm. And now we are the guys that need to be dropping gems. Because if we're not dropping gems, and I say this to all the other OGs out here, if you're not dropping gems on the younger generation, then what are you doing? Yeah. You can't complain about shit if you're not the one providing information or guiding some of these kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can't just be guiding and say, yo, I'm going to get my YG to handle the business. That's not the shit, but you're setting up homie for failure right off the jump. You know what I mean? If you're going to handle shit yourself.
Yeah. You know what? It even brings me to one of our popular questions that we always have, right? It's been passed along to like at least a dozen guests by now, I think. Is 2018 was a fucked up year. Yeah. Right? We lost 100 people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What can we do in 2019 to not have that same number happen?
I don't know, man. I was just on YouTube the other day looking at some videos, and I'm reading in the comments, and I'm like, I was discouraged, man. I was like, I didn't see any sign of hope. Yeah. I seen cats talking about running the numbers up and keeping score, and I'm like, you know what I mean? As a father, it's just like, that's just scary, man. It's like, I don't want to see the youth going down that road. Like, what do we do? I mean, keeping feuds up that we don't even know where they began from is one thing. Like, why are you beefing? Right? We can make a lot more money if we're connecting than we are if we're adversaries out there. You know what I mean? Like, guys have generational beef and they don't even know where it all started from. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, back like when we started this whole thing, I told you I could go to the town. We can be up top. We could have been in Malvern. It felt like you could travel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's guys now that haven't even left their block. They can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? What do? I mean, we start to have the conversation and we let the bravado go. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it is our pride, man. Like, sometimes you just got to let the pride go a little bit. And like, I would like to see the artists out there. I think they have the first opportunity to really change the way we're acting out here. Like, I think if you have guys from so-called op blocks getting together on records, that's showing everybody else like shit can happen. Like, look, Nipsey died, right? Mm-hmm. What happened in LA after that? Crips and Bloods getting together, right? They're able to do that shit out there. And that shit is way deeper. That goes down like, that's real, like generations and generations and generations. We're talking, that shit goes back to like the 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're able to settle it for the better. If they can do that out there, we could do that out here. But I think it comes to our role models. And as much as a rapper doesn't want to say, well, he's not a role model, well, you are a role model, whether you like it or not. Once you pick up a fucking mic and you start putting out videos and people start looking to you, you're a role model, one way or another. What you say, what you do is going to influence other people. You know what I mean? And I'll use Press as an example, man. He came through the station and we were talking, and he was like, yo, I'm not even on that street shit no more. I'm making music. I've looked back and I'm like, you know what? That ain't it. You know, I'm trying to change my life. That message coming out on air, that's the beginning of people are looking up to Press. They're like, oh shit, this guy came from this, and he can turn and he can say, you know what, I'm gonna turn a new page and learn to live life and love life and appreciate shit and enjoy shit and work on positive things. Then that's an example for everybody else to be like, you know what, maybe I don't need to be living this life. And I'm not trying to come off corny. Like, it is what it is. We know what's going on. Like, some things are never going to change, but the opportunity for it to happen is there. We can't have a repeat of last year. Like, we just can't. Like, I'm not trying to go to no more funerals. I'm not trying to get no more calls at like 3:30 in the morning. It came to a point where, like, I knew people that weren't even going to clubs. Like, after that shit that happened on Queen Street, people were like, I'm not even fucking going out anymore. You know, people are like saying, like, I'm not going downtown, like, for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. People are like, I'm not even going downtown. Shit is so hot.
Yeah. We're creating a reputation for ourselves.
Like, we cannot be. We live in Canada. This is Canada. Like, shit is not that bad out here. I know it is, but in consideration, we got a lot less problems or different type of problems than they do in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't be looking at America and trying to mimic their lifestyle and what they're doing. And I'm not saying that we do that all the time, but in some situations we do. Like, there's generally, obviously, some legitimate beef out there. How you solve it, I don't know. That's a question for the ages. You know, as humans, we have a violent nature to begin with.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But can we overcome that? Can we do better? I think it starts with our role models.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, because, like, I feel like at the end of a certain amount of time, we'll be able to look back and take all the different answers that we've had from different guests and maybe be able to find, like, a cumulative solution. Right. You know, within all these answers, you know what I mean? Like, this, you know, a few other guests have said, you know, the regular, you know, more centers and communities and things like that, which is true. Yeah. Right? But all the different pieces together with what you said and everything, we might be able to find ourselves.
Well, I mean, going back to that, I think giving the youth hope, I think providing hope, like what Gavin is doing with Remix, you know, things of that nature gives kids hope. They're like, I can learn something tangible, something that I can apply to my life. All right, this is a way out. Like, let me work on this. You know, and shouts to, like, Mustafa the Poet and Bones. I was chopping up with Bones, and he had an opportunity where he was sitting down with Jagmeet Singh from the NDP, and they were having the conversation about, and this is coming from people that are there or were there. You know, and like that documentary, like, I mean, that opens up the conversation. So I think we need a lot more of that, man. We need to talk. We need to open up the conversation. We need to find out why we're beefing. You know what I mean? And how can we avoid more people dying? That's what it comes down to.
Facts.
The hate is so deep, and it doesn't happen in other cultures. So why is it in this culture? Like, why are we inundated with such deep hate? Where does it come from?
It's a brainwashing, man. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Oh, man, Ricochet in the building, man. Last question I have for you. Do you ever see yourself retiring?
Yo, I thought about that last night after I left the club. I'm like, yo, when am I? Nah, you don't retire something that you love. You don't retire from your kids. You love your kids. You don't retire from your family. You love your family. I love this shit. I'm like, I would never retire. Would it change? Would I get involved in different aspects? Do I plan on being on radio for the next 20, 30 years? I don't know. You know what I mean? I think everything evolves. I think my role will evolve. Like, I'm really, you know, I've been thinking about lately, just I want to be able to provide infrastructure. So I want to be able to give knowledge to artists. So I think that'll be my next step. Retiring, I don't think is ever really going to happen. I mean, obviously it'll come around one time where I'm like, I just want to chill when I'm old as fuck or whatever. But anytime in the near future, do I see myself coming off of this journey to something else? Nah. You know, I think the next step is teaching the upcoming generation how to conduct themselves in the business. So that'll be the evolution. Yeah, you know, something like that. Yeah. Something along the lines of that, like this is how you do this is how you do that. Like there's grant money out there. We have, like there's cats that didn't even know that we have money. Like there's no other country that I'm aware of that will offer you money to go shoot a video, to buy radio ads, to do this, to do that. You know what I mean? As a country, we do invest in like the art of this country. Yeah. So, you know, I want to be able to let people know that this is how you get a grant. This is how you fill out the paperwork. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. It's funny because I was actually talking to some cats over at SoCan. And what I'm going to try to be doing is kind of set up like little field trips. Okay. Where I get like, and I mean, it sounds fucked up to call it a field trip, but like get like a couple artists together, send them down to Factor, take them down. I'll take them in the whip myself, drive over to Factor, drive over to SoCan, and sit down and get information from them. So they're like armed with the knowledge of how to really take advantage of these situations. Yeah. Yeah. So to answer your question, am I going to retire? Nah, hell no, B. Probably not. You don't retire from some shit you love. Yeah.
Hey, we don't.
I'll retire if Hov retires.
Hey, listen, we need you to stay in the game.
Yeah. If I see Jay retiring, I might think about it.
Top 5? Top 5, he only gave us 3.
Oh, yeah, we need 2 more off your top 5.
All right, so back to the top 5. You see, we're just talking over here. We're talking over here, we're getting off track. So top 5 overall, right? We're not talking about Toronto?
So you have
Hov, Drake, Kanye.
And Kanye.
Have to put Nas in there. And I said my top 5 always change. And I might get flack for this, but it's always changing. I think Cole has I think last year Cole has made his way into my top 5.
Okay, so Kendrick didn't get in there.
I don't fuck with Kendrick.
Ooh,
I don't fuck with Kendrick. I don't fuck with it.
No Biggie Tupac either.
Huh?
No Biggie Pac pun.
Yeah, see, like I say it's always changing, right? So like you got to give opportunity. Like it's always changing. Of course, Biggie, Jay-Z, Pac, Nas. You know what I mean? And Hov. That's always going to be the top 5. At least coming from my generation. That's always going to be the top 5. But like I said, it always changes.
It evolves.
It revolves for me. Like obviously that's a staple. Like you ask somebody top 5, that's going to be the answer half the time. Biggie, Jay-Z, now. So I like, you know what I mean? Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got a question for you. Who's your top 5 in the city right now? Here in Toronto.
Top 5 in the city?
I want to, because I mean, you might be a little bit more.
So how are we dividing this? Are we dividing the guys who've already made it, like the Tories, Drakes?
Yeah, we can't include. We can't include the Navs, Tories, and Drakes.
So Killy.
Okay.
Pressa.
Okay.
Little Beretti, I see, has a lot of potential as well.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Not just to say that the answer.
The potential is definitely there. The machine is behind him too, right?
Yeah. Definitely. Who else could I put in there? Because I'm going through my brain.
Got you on a spot, huh?
Yeah, because Roni has a lot of potential.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I want to say he's in the top 5, but I don't know yet because he has a lot of stuff that he has to deal with before he can like fully get out there onto the. You know what I'm saying? Right. It hurts me because the reason I'm at somewhat of a block is because some of the people who I consider in that top 5 are not home.
What do you mean? They're like out in LA or whatever?
No, they're gone. They're in jail. Right? Yeah. Like I had Casper in my top 5.
Yeah.
Right. Not Casper. Casper too, but that conglomerate. K Money and Casper.
Yeah.
Right. But K Money especially because Come Outside was
a game changer,
smasher,
game changer. And I hate that it went down like that because I think those two would be like out of here right now.
Their trajectory
was just out of here. Out of here,
right? Pangs and Tutu.
If there's a follow up, I mean, like he had the wrist record, but like there hasn't been. Anything. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bizz Loke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he was home right now, from the trajectory that he had already started from last year, even from the interview that he did with us, and all that crazy, just everything that was happening with him, he would be on fire right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you with that K Money conversation.
The representative, who has bars.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, it's hard for me to make that top 5 because like I feel like I see the potential. And it's like motherfuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? YG, I would put in that category.
YG's he's a very charismatic individual.
Yeah,
There's something about him. Like, he got a vibe about him. Like, he's able to influence, like, even his slang, even his talks. Like, people are talking like YG. You know what I mean?
Man.
When I see shit like that happen, I'm like, okay, there's something special. Auntie's a certified banger. Be like, anytime I'm in the club, there's no doubt. Like, that is like the record. Like, Houdini, I think, is out of here.
Yeah, Houdini as well.
I think he's out of here. Like, I think he's gone.
I can't narrow it down because, like, we see so many people every week. We got somebody in front of us, and it's not everybody that I've named that we've interviewed, but like some of them I see, and then I see what they're doing afterwards or what they've been doing before for even us to be interested in the first place. And I'm just like, yeah, man, you guys are doing your fucking thing, man.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're taking pics and you're in LA and shit like that, I'm like, yes, fucking go, bro.
Yeah, you made it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you made it, yeah, at least you're in an environment where shit is gonna, like, can happen. You're not getting pulled back by, like,
Syph.
Like, Syph been out there for a hot minute.
Yeah. Black of the Dawn. You know what I'm saying?
He's another one that he got, like, he's just full of energy, man.
He's a fucking entertainer.
Yeah, he's
bro.
an entertainer. I seen his live show and I was like, okay, this guy's putting in time. Like, and that's what I want to see a lot of that from artists. Like, I just don't want to see you not like making icon. Like, Black is like out there putting everything out on that stage. Like, he's interacting. He's thinking about his show before he hits the stage. Like, there's rehearsals happening. There's a theme to it. There's like, and I rate that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't have an actual top 5.
Right.
I just feel like there's a lot of people with a lot of potential.
Right.
And my top 5, some of those people are inside.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
But yeah, man, like, we could fucking chop it up.
Yeah, we could do this all day.
Yeah, man. But I really appreciate you coming.
B, thank you for having me, man. It's a lot of fun. I watch this shit all the time, and I'm like,
Thank you, man.
Really dope to actually be here and chop it up and share gems, man, and talk stories. Like, me and you, we go back, so
yeah, man.
There's a lot more shit to talk about, but it was a pleasure.
Well, listen, man. What I feel like we're gonna have to do with like the media personalities that we have here on our platform, we're gonna have to do like a lot of recurring episodes. There's so much knowledge, and so much different things that we could keep talking about moving forward, because we're always going to be interacting with new shit in the scene.
Right. Yeah, like I always try to like look over here to see what you're fucking with as far as music goes, because I think we're getting things from 2 different places. Like, I'm hearing some shit, and then you're hearing some shit, and it's good to like for you to be able to put me onto some shit, and same thing for me. Like, for me to be able to tell you about something like Tyson Hodge or something, like, to find out you don't know about it and I can bless you with that. It's like, okay, that's what's up.
I be peeping the gram too, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I see some of our former guests, and then I see somebody, and I'm like, okay, I might need to interview that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Ty's a dope interview. So,
yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to go creeping on y'all Instagram.
Yeah.
Anyhow, man, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
We got Ricochet in the motherfucking building.
Where am I over here?
Yeah.
That's it.